What's up, guys? Welcome to Do You AGRAY? So I'm Bassam, and I have with me my brother Bashar and my brother Kevin. Um, do we want to say something about ourselves or not really?
Yeah, real quick, yeah.
Yeah. So Bashar and I are dentists. Kevin is a pastor, life coach,
Self-love coach. Yeah.
self-love coach. He's my coach. So I'm not sure what to call him, pastor or coach. More lately, coach, I feel like. But it's been helping.
Yeah.
And so,
Nice.
yeah. What's our topic, Kevin?
So today we're talking about marriage matters. Candid conversation with married men. And so that's our topic for today.
Sounds good.
Cool.
So you guys ready?
Let's do it, yeah.
Awesome. So guys, I know that both of you are dads and husbands and you also work. So my first question for all of us is, how do you navigate and balance the different roles and responsibilities in your marriage, such as being a husband, a father, a provider? Like, how do you navigate those roles? Actually,
That's a loaded question.
before we get to that, I have just something off the top of my head. What was your idea, when it came to getting married or even being married, and how did that fit with what actually happened?
That's a good question.
Like, did you want to get married? Like, did she rope you in?
I think, as kids, we were three boys growing up. We hated girls. And so I know always,
Up to a certain age.
yeah, parents always would say, you wait till later. But I think it was a given, this is like what you desire, as you want to be in a relationship and you want to fall in love and you want to meet somebody that you like and that loves you and all these things. So I think we didn't see any other option.
So you weren't trying to be a player. You weren't trying to get, with women. Your goal was to find the one and be committed to them and have a family.
Pretty much.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think that was the home we came from. The culture we came from.
Yeah.
The commitment is a must. It's giving up is frowned upon. You just gotta stick together. That's what you do. You get married and you have kids and you stick together, and it doesn't matter if you hate each other, but that's what you're gonna stick with, and then it's just sometimes I feel like we're programmed into certain ways, but at the same time it's almost biological too. Maybe I'll get a little off topic and go back to like teenage years. Your testosterone is high. Your mental, development is not complete.
To say the least.
Yeah. And so that's all you desire, is to be with somebody. Almost. Not necessarily like to be with them, just, mostly physically.
Yeah.
But, yet you're not supposed to, because you're not ready and you're still a kid. And yeah. So I guess linking it up to marriage, a big part of it, one of the things that, normal people look forward to is, the sex bar. You guys, you seem like you were different.
No, I mean, yeah, we're brothers. We grew up in the same home. So that's what we think about. But, obviously, it's not just that. I mean, there was a time, actually, where I was like, well, I'm gonna be a Pole. Forget girls, forget this. I'm just gonna do my own thing and so on. So, and not long after, my wife, right now, of course, at the time she showed up and she took the initiative to
She took.
pursue.
That's funny.
Yes.
My wife kind of did too.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna be a Paul, and yeah, that didn't last too long.
So it's funny, like at the time we used to say, with guys and friends and stuff, and everybody's you talk about girls, and then not to mess around. They're just want to find a girl, a relationship, so on. I was not, I was like, not at this point. I'm not there. If it comes, it comes. It's not a big deal. But if the funny thing, I got married. all of these guys, I got married before.
Oh wow,
Yes.
that's funny.
Yeah. So it's just kind of interesting how things work out.
So, would you say marriage was something you were planning for, looking forward to, or it just happened? And you just
Well, when I met my wife, I mean now, but at the time when we met, obviously we should pursue it first. It's a little resistant and so on. But then we started going out. I'd never gone out with anybody. That was not. I was never into like dating around, just doing all that stuff. If I find someone I like, then that's it, and done. I mean, even I'm still supportive of this mindset. I'm not saying everybody has to be the same, but I think like when you like someone, and so anyway, we started honestly from the first date and stuff. It was we kind of almost knew as if we've known each other for years, and in my mind, this is it.
So you knew the
feeling. Yeah. So it's and then you go through
how long did it take you to like realize this is it?
Well, when I decided to actually go out with her, in the back of my mind, it wasn't just let's just give it a try and see. It's like, okay.
But was there anything in the back of your mind that this could not work out?
I mean, there's always that little thing in the back of your mind that, of course, it's possibly not work out. Of course, but it wasn't something that I was thinking about. Like it's haunting me, or no, it's I'm going for it, and I going on a first date, and I'm actually accepting to take the step and start something, is because I'm willing to go forward. Otherwise, like, okay,
you wouldn't even.
There's no need for waste of time and dating and get emotional and all that stuff. So personally, for me, when I took that step, it was like, okay, this is almost it. But yeah, I mean, you always leave room for if it doesn't work out. So, no, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, for me, I guess similar. It had to turn into love, and from there it was how can I make things work. Like you said, I don't think I had the thought in my mind. I remember there were a couple of occasions or a couple of situations where I questioned, is this something I can live with? And I tend to always get myself over that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you say has been the most challenging as well as rewarding aspect of marriage? No cute answers.
The whole thing is challenging. and when you add kids to it, it's 10x.
For me, I wanted a woman who was submissive, right? And I am Jamaican, and like my mom and aunts are really strong personalities. So I'm like, I'm not gonna marry someone like my mom or my aunt, because yeah. So I met my wife, and I didn't plan on meeting her. It was just God's leading, and we're both really strong-willed, And so for me, I think just having a strong woman, and
You're destined for
navigating that, that's been challenging. I think what's been rewarding is just our shared value,
Yeah.
just loving God, serving God, being prayerful, seeking help when we needed it. Yeah.
And
What about you
your
guys?
wife is also a pastor.
Mhm.
So you have a lot in common.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah, we I'm very strong-willed, I guess. Stubborn at times, so it's sometimes you just have to stand your ground. And if the other person stands their ground, then it's just like, But it wasn't from, like, we kind of both knew that we like each other and we love each other. So it's not like it's just a matter of disagreement and frustration, or and it's like, that's how I think, that's how you think, and but over the years, it just, all these things kind of really almost started fading out. And yeah, so because we're both not, in a way, like, we have a mindset, and I also kind of appreciate about my wife is that she's not always trying to please me, in a way, like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I mean, sometimes, you gotta give in, just kind of make it work. Otherwise, it's
Happy wife,
Yeah.
happy life.
happy life.
Friend,
But
time he was he had been in this relationship for a few months, and he came to me and he was like frustrated. He was like, man, we never fight. Like, we never fight. She says okay to everything, and I don't think she was necessarily like submissive, but I think she just wanted, that was her way to like get him.
yeah,
And to him, that was driving him crazy, because like, what kind of relationship can you have? I think maybe other girls he had dated before, they they had tension or arguments, or it seemed like a healthy relationship should have some of that, if people have their own individuality. So but I think all three of us married in our mid-20s.
Yeah.
And I remember Kevin had been married a year before we did. And I think I had just been married, or was getting to get married, that I asked how was married life.
I remember my answer too.
Yeah. Well, he was like, it's sanctifying. I'm like, no, that's a I want to be sanctified. I didn't know what I was.
did we go past it?
Oh yes.
I didn't know what I was asking. But yeah. So it is sanctifying, and like you said, adding kids into it later, it is. You almost want to be justified again. But one time I was stressed out at work, and I looked like tired, and I hate it when I complain, but I think we always do. at least myself. And one of my coworkers was like, if you were to go back, would you do the same thing again? And I thought about it. I told her, I think, I think I would. I couldn't see myself, coming home by myself, not having my kids run to me, my girls, just, having a partner to go through life with, and whatever else that you struggle with. And I see my friends that are in their 30s and are not married. It's almost like they're happy to have their freedom. And so, in your 20s, you still have a lot of that passion. You want to fall in love when you want to get married and things like that. I feel like we did it at the right age. Because it's like, easier. You get into it. You're young. You have that passion. You want to fall in love, and you keep going. You get closer to your 30s, and you get a little bit over your 30s, where your brain is fully developed, and you start considering, there's so much to life that I haven't achieved that I want to achieve, and I feel like a partner can pull me down. I had a friend, or kids. Yeah, I had a friend who said, "I'm never getting married. I want to travel. I have a lot of things that on my checklist.
That's crazy.
That I haven't accomplished." And, others that I know, they wake up in the middle of the night, they're going to go fishing.
Wow.
And that's what they want to do, and,
having a partner is...
You can't just wake up.
And kids on top of it.
Yeah. And then, okay, I'm just going to leave them and go fishing in the middle of the night. But what I noticed is you start to get in your 40s, and you get over the fishing and the nights out and the staying up late, and you feel like you want a kid to call you dad or something to talk to you.
Yeah, it seems like you're getting old. Well, at the end of the day, who's going to take care of me? Who's going to be around me if I'm alone? Yeah,
some good point.
Yeah, but it's kind of though, yeah, like what you're focused on. Like if you focus on the fishing, or if you're traveling, if you focus on these things, but I have to do it. This is your priority. This makes you fulfilled, makes you happy. You don't want any disruptions there, which will happen with marriage, most likely, not always, but so it's like, and then you look at kids, and you look at, you lose on sleep, and you run out of patience, and all that kind of crazy stuff. You're like, why would I have to go through this? But I don't know. It's a different experience, but at the same time, it's the way you look at it. Like, you've accepted that this is something I enjoy doing, with all the struggles that you would go through.
Not just you accept it. It's like, you have made that decision. You have made that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
Now you're going to come back later and regret and things like that. I feel like part of it, being a man, is to man up to your work.
Own up to it, yeah.
Own up to the decisions you have made, and step up. But I don't know.
Well, is it just a man or a woman too? I mean, it's us as human beings, I think, with decisions. I mean, there's always, here and there, these regrets, but generally, like, well, that's it. That's the decision I've made. That's it. I have to work with it, just make it work. Regretting it and dreading what you've done and all that, it's not healthy at the end of the day. It's not.
Have you guys ever had a point of regret, or where you're like, man, why did I do this? Or I'm stuck, I might as well just make it work.
No, I personally I don't have that tendency of regret. It's done. That's it.
Yeah.
I have to make it work, But I mean, there's, at the same time, what else would I do? So I love my wife. I love this. I take the struggles.
Yeah.
I don't mind the struggles. I mean, life is a struggle anyway.
Because it's worth it.
You're going to struggle at home. You're going to struggle outside. There's always things that are negative, and there's always all these things. So, at least you have a partner that, and it depends, of course, but if your partner loves you and values you and is loyal to you and all these things, then it's good. But if it's not, then obviously it's not. So it's a scale.
I think a big part of a lot of people's struggles is FOMO, you know, fear of missing out. I had a coworker who went around asking the office staff if they would cheat on their partners, and you know, and then they told her, ask the doctor. And so I don't know. For me, it's just I don't entertain that thought. You know, I mean, nobody is like immune, but you like. I feel like you can put yourself out there, and if you dwell, like you said, if you dwell on the thought of regret, and on the thought of could there be something better, and all these things, you're always gonna be, you know, just you made the decision, you know. I feel like, you know, we talk about this at our coaching session. I'm going to be vulnerable. I feel like one of my struggles is, which could have helped me, is to want to make everything work, or being afraid of failure. And I feel like when it comes to marriage and things like that, you know, in my mind it's besides the fact that, you know, you love your partner and you don't want anybody else and things like that, but you feel like you want to be successful, you know, you want to be known as somebody who is marriage successful, as a good dad, a good husband, not just for me, but I feel like I take the burden of my faith. Is that okay? You know, I have to be, I have to show people that I'm a happy Christian, but not in a sense where I'm trying to be fake. I feel like it's like intrinsic. I just, that's what I do to you know, achieve this kind of lifestyle and be the person I think I should be. And yeah, but you're helping me look at my heart and listen to my heart, and you know, sometimes your heart tells you, could things be better? And so I don't know, is it a good thought to have, to entertain, like, thought that, you know, could things be better? I'm not saying that you're suggesting in any way. You hardly say anything, you just ask questions. You're suggesting a second option. It's more, it still has to do with me and how I channel my thinking and how I can overcome my struggles and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one way when you're married. Like sometimes one spouse that wants one thing, and it's
time, not just
well, what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, well, like most of the time, from what I've seen, there's always one that's a little bit more dominant.
Yeah,
gets their way.
Yep.
And if it's
I'm about to get emotional. No,
and if it's, you know,
might need some coaching for
you know, and if it's not, then it just clashes and it just doesn't work, you know. So
you think it has to be that way?
No, I'm not. I don't think I don't think it has to be this way, but it tends to be this way because of you know, the spiritual aspect of it, because of our sinful nature, right? And the one that's more used to being catered to, the one that's most used to getting their way, then they're gonna win, in a way, win. But as for us, if I speak to myself, for example, I have to pay attention to me in my situation, that I shouldn't be always winning.
Do you tend to be the one who's always winning?
I tend to be, but yeah, but that's
You
one
shouldn't be.
that's one way, you know, because
Mm.
at the end of the day, the other person gets tired of it, you know,
Mm.
and you have to sometimes give in. There's certain things you
Yeah.
just have to give it, and you just have to allow the other person to get their way, you know. Otherwise, it's just not one way relationship
Mhm.
because it's exhausting,
Mhm.
you know. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, it's like I said, it's scale. Like you put up with it for reasons. Sometimes you mentioned faith, or you want to look in a certain way, but sometimes it's not the right way. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes if my wife is the one winning, and I'm the one that's always in to keep peace or do this, and I have to pay attention to myself, it's like, well, maybe that's not helpful.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that we have to fight or cause problems and things like that. We can always talk it out, discuss it. Okay, this is what I'm struggling with. You're always getting it right.
Mhm.
Can we just do it? You know, I mean, there's always things like that, but sometimes we don't get to actually talk about it
Mhm.
this way, you know, and open up, you know.
Vulnerable.
Well, you know, because sometimes you say this and then, well, no, you get your way in this way, and then it becomes another art,
Mhm.
you know.
Another fight.
So it's marriage is not easy.
But you know, I feel like people that are famous and well-to-do and things like that in the upper class, they do a lot of coaching. They get a lot of coaching, and it gives them an edge in their relationship and their business and things like that. And so I feel like you know, our coaching sessions are at first, you know, I might have been hesitant. You know, what is this going to do? You know, I feel like I'm good. I feel like I have the right answers. But I think it gets you to think, and like you said, you know, the conversation turns into an argument. Sometimes you might find different words to use where
Communication.
communication is better, and you find out that okay, we can actually come to an agreement. Just you know, I mean, it has
It's
to
easier said than that.
easier said than that, but and both parties have to
Yeah.
be on the same page.
Yeah.
But
You have to be caught in the same in the right moment, and they have to be caught in the right moment. You know,
A lot of factors.
yeah, it's kind of like when you're, you know, as kids and you want to catch your parent and when they're happy and this. So when you want to ask something, you know, it's so these things happen. But yeah, I mean, it involves more things. Trust,
Mhm.
like the fact that they see that you actually love them and care for them and those things.
Mhm. That's true.
And you know, with kids, like, I mean, like, I speak about myself. When we started dating, you know, and I decided, and I was excited about it, you know. They used to make fun of me. Two things, emojis running and stuff, you know. Because they haven't seen me that way, you know. But, you know, I was excited about it and stuff like that.
should have seen him when he came back from honeymoon.
Well,
When he came back from honeymoon. Oh yeah, smile. The smile.
You guys, it's good. It's a good.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's in my experience, this is how it started. But just over time, it just, you know, kind of that doesn't have the same excitement through life, through this. And you know, sometimes it's like, you know, my wife said, why aren't you as excited as before, you know? And you know, things like that. But you know, dating, guys do it, and we try to do it, and that kind of rekindles that time where we've had together. We used to go out on dates, you know, doing those things that we used to do when we were excited about it, and just brings back those memories. And you know, you go back and start like, okay, it helps. Yeah, it definitely helps. Not something we grew up with for sure. But
It's true. We didn't necessarily grow up with that. And maybe we could finish off with this point is what have you found that rekindles that
That's a good question.
fire or,
I got an answer.
yeah. But
Go.
I was going to say, I feel like for me, I was hesitant like to do that.
To rekindle.
To rekindle, not necessarily to rekindle, but just I don't want to leave the kids. I don't want to leave the kids, and we need to bring the kids and everything. And wherever we go, we have to bring the kids.
discussion this morning.
And but that's what I think how we were like our parents. They did everything. I mean, my mom mentioned that they did go to weddings sometimes.
But because we weren't invited.
Yeah, yeah.
There was nothing intentional about it.
I was invited recently, and when the kids were not, then we didn't go. So,
But you went to the other engagement.
by myself though.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had to stay with the kids. So help us out.
Help you.
What are some like things you guys do to like keep that fire?
Yeah, we just
Rekindle.
one thing my wife is every anniversary we go away just by ourselves to a hotel, and we definitely rekindle. And she's free from the kids,
Yeah.
and it's just us, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it's just us. But yeah, we have to find someone to watch the kids, and usually it's when her mom comes in town. And one time it was some babysitters we trusted and knew well. But those were some of the things that we would look forward to and do, and that's our main thing. But we had to leave the kids with someone.
Right. Yeah.
No, I've seen people that literally they go on trips for a week or more, and the kids. I mean, either with grandparents or daycare stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, we were having this conversation today.
See, we had the conversation.
We had this conversation today, yeah.
What? They left for the weekend?
My wife,
Their kids?
my wife is
No, there was somebody that I heard.
Oh well.
Like what? They left. So that they're working on that. I don't know. Maybe.
I if it works, it works, but I can't resonate. I can't.
Yeah, I had a hard time.
Justifying them,
You can't leave your kids.
Like you're saying once a year, you want whatever it's. Yeah, but trips here and there and these things.
What about like for a date night?
Yeah, day night. I think. I mean,
Yeah,
a couple hours is definitely doable.
Or a night away at the hotel? Would that work?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it's like who's staying with my kids also. If it's grandma, and
You're
it's
okay.
fine.
Going,
Yeah. Even though they'll wake up at night.
Yeah.
Sometimes they come and the daddy come. Can you come turn on the light or can you help me use the bathroom? But so I think overnight I haven't gotten
You're not there.
to that point where I can
Well,
do it. But
we went to Texas. We went to this.
well,
with
the
kids.
mom was with.
The moms were here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mom was with. But
So-
not.
Oh, I like
It's
what?
gone.
What about you guys though? Like, what do you do to rekindle, or what do you think you can do to rekindle?
Honestly, it's
date
the
night,
same. Yeah, the date night.
Mhm.
We recently, and we haven't been doing date nights like honestly, and it's been kids back to back and everything. We have 4 little girls, all 5 and under,
Yeah, it's tough.
and so and we feel like we're very invested in our girls. We hardly leave them like anybody, just rarely, only for like emergencies or something. So, her mom was nice enough to watch them, and we went out for literally like a couple of hours. We went out to a restaurant, and we went out to a spot where we used to go back when we were dating at the mall, and we walked the same spot. It was amazing, honestly. Yeah. we came back happy. We came back like good for a few days, just excited. So I think that worked. We just have to get it in our schedule more often.
That's good.
Like when we're gone, like when we went to Texas or this for the weekend, I'm not as concerned
Because they're with mom.
well,
Yeah.
their mom. But I don't know if like I feel like if we go and spend like a couple days and just by ourselves, I don't know, like
It's hard.
you know.
It's hard.
And we have grandparents and everything, and I'm pretty sure that they're gonna do fine. But I don't know. It's
Harder.
yeah. But funny, it's we just had this conversation today. My wife is more okay with it than me, and she's saying possibly because you don't spend as much time with them. You know, come back from work and a couple hours and just put them to sleep, and I mean she's with them every day,
Yeah.
all day. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So I mean, her experience of needing a break is totally different.
Yeah.
Than mine, you know, she needs a break. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm getting the break, more than a break. So, but I don't know. Part of it is that. Part of it maybe that's how we grew up. But at the same time, like, you know, we in a way we dated, and our wives, it was not arranged marriage. My parents were more almost like an arranged marriage situation. So there was not much of that rekindling of
It was just commitment.
infatuation or love or all that.
My mom always
before.
made the statement, love comes after marriage.
She said she doesn't believe in love before marriage. We're like, we always like,
Interesting.
like, you know, we fall in love with girls before marriage, even, you know, and stuff like
Maybe
that. It's like, no, it's just,
True.
True love
Commitment is like
yeah.
developed.
yeah.
But it's interesting that everybody has their own experience. You know? And so, yeah, that's what she's experienced.
Yeah.
That's not what we've experienced, and many other people, you know.
Yes. Well, this was good. Yeah. I think we can go forever.
We could go forever, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was helpful, I think, conversation.
Yeah. So if you guys were to leave a takeaway to anyone listening, you know, who's married as a man, who's considering getting married, like, what would be your takeaway for them, or just for all of us?
I used to like encourage friends to get married and try to match them and things like that. But now I'm like, you know, take your time. Just make sure you're ready. Don't rush into kids. You know, don't rush to getting married. I'm against dating forever. I feel like, what's the point? You kind of find out pretty cool. I mean, for me, I found out on the second date, I'm starting to love her. And so, just don't drag things. But if you find yourself compatible, you know, pull the trigger. There's no perfect person. You're not perfect, and they're not perfect. And just I'm gonna reiterate this point that one of my friends mentioned before. This is when I was talking to a girl, and she turned out to be a headache. I couldn't figure her out, and I was like, I don't know why do people put themselves in these kind of situations? And he told me, brother, love is beautiful, and you know, that stayed with me. I think it's better. Like, I think at the end of the day, love is better than loneliness. But again, everybody's is different.
Yeah.
It's also what you appreciate about your spouse, your partner. Yeah, they're gonna not like things about what you do. You're not gonna like a lot of things probably but at the end of the day, you gotta ask yourself, why do I value them? Why do I like them? Why do I, you know, all these things? And obviously you have to, love is is a deep concept in itself because it sort of oversees all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But in a relationship and friendship and anybody, I mean, you're looking for certain qualities that you personally appreciate, and you hope that you bring into the table. So if they're bringing those things to you, and you see value in it, then it's worth it to make it work because those things are important to you. You know, but at the same time, you just, of course, got to be honest with yourself and not just kind of say, well, this is, you know, kind of lie to yourself about, well, no, just to make it work. No, I like this and this. No, I mean, at the end of the day, it has to be also mutual. They have to see these things in you, these things. They have to value them. You're going to value them. And you struggle together and then just make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What about you?
Yeah, I'd say marriage is beautiful. What I've found is just someone who loves me and accepts me for me. I don't have to be anyone else. I could just be me, and it's beautiful and hard.
Mm-hmm.
And the key for us has been God and counseling. And if it wasn't for that, you know, we wouldn't have survived.
Yeah.
And so I think that's important. And I think it's just all about growing. I think one day I was complaining about my wife and just why can't she do this? Like, why can't she be this? And she's amazing, an amazing woman. I'm so blessed. But there's always stuff.
Right.
And then the thought came to me like, Kevin, you know, why are you focusing on her and trying to make her responsible for your happiness? Focus on being responsible for your own happiness, and you're not just giving yourself what you need instead of looking to her to give it to you. And I kind of flipped the switch, and that helped me to be better for myself so that I could be better for the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just all about growing and being your best and not focusing so much on the other person. And it helps not just you, but it helps your marriage.
Yeah. Word. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Very good.
Thanks, brothers.
Yes.